Tad Boyle with our 10th 20-win season in his tenure. So we'll have you start with an opening statement. We'll open up for questions.
Yeah, I'll try to be brief. Sometimes I can ramble, as you guys know, but another good win, and especially on a night where we honored two young men who are, to me, what all college basketball is all about, college athletics is all about. They've persevered. They haven't, given up. They've gone through tough times, each in their own way, and to see them honored tonight and given the love that they deserve tonight from our fans and their teammates, it warms your heart as a coach. I can just tell you that. And then to hear KJ Simpson, talk about those guys and how they took him under his wing when he got here as a freshman. To me, that's what Colorado basketball is all about. It's about young guys learning from old guys, paying their dues, coming in and just getting better. And both Luke and Tristan have gotten better each and every year, incrementally, and it doesn't happen overnight. They've just trusted the process, and that's encouraging to know that there's still people out there that respect that. Everybody wants their immediate gratification. They want it right away, and it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes it does, but usually not. Usually you got to put in the work, and they've done that. So I'm really proud of them and really proud of our team tonight.
Tad, you mentioned just kind of the recruitment process of Tristan when you're talking post-game to the crowd. I mean, I asked him about this because obviously his first season, he comes in, there's no fans in the stands, and then it was a very personal message for him after the game. It's to see how much he's grown and become a part of the community. How nice has that been for you?
To me, that's what going to college is all about. You don't get that when you bounce from school to school to school. You don't get those roots. The ownership is not there. We always talk about owning the jersey. Tristan Silva owns the buff jersey. Luke O'Brien owned the buff jersey. There's a lot of collegiate athletes right now that are renting jerseys. Good for them, whatever. The world is round and everybody has choices to make. I'm not casting stones or dispersions on anybody. I'm just trying to make the point that these two young men are what we're about, what this program's about. I hope we can continue to build it this way. I hope we can continue to have success. KJ mentioned they come from good families. They're fantastic families. Thank God I'm not a football coach. I'm a basketball coach. So we don't have to find 25 of them a year. We got to find like 3 or 4. And they're out there. And I think the kids we signed early in November, same deal. Coming out of high school, Felix Casares, Sebastian Rancic, Andrew Crawford, great kids, great families. They're going to come here and they're going to put in the work. They're going to be great players too.
How do you think, and it could apply to either one, how do you think they became convinced to buck the trend through the tough times and stay for all 4 years?
Again, I think the fact that they love it here, you have to be having a good experience to want to stay, right? So part of that is what we do at Colorado, and from the academic support that they receive, from the compliance support that they receive, from the strength and conditioning coach, and from the coaching staff. And they got to be having a good collegiate experience for them to want to stay. And it's not like we've never had players transfer out of our program. We have, and we will continue to have that. Like, that's not going to end. It's just to see the kids that stay and have them have success and be a part of a 20-win season again, a chance to go to the NCAA tournament and have it, put themselves in a position where we are right now down the stretch. It's nice to see kids rewarded and feel good about that decision. And it's not for everybody. There's going to be certain kids that come and go, and that's not going to change. But man, when you see guys like Luke, so I don't know what caused them to stay, other than I think, loyalty is a huge thing to me. We talk about it in the recruiting process, and it's a two-way street. I've stayed loyal to Luke. I've stayed loyal to Tristan. If a kid leaves our program, it's not because I've given up on them. It's because they're not getting what they want out of it, and that's okay. But I'm not going to fail them. We at Colorado are not going to fail them. We're going to provide a great experience to the best of our abilities and in a perfect world, everyone would stay, but that's not realistic either. So, you know, you just take it day by day, year by year, and you just recruit great kids from great families that, you know, the 3 core values of our basketball program are character, trust, and work ethic. And if those 3 kids have all those things, and part of character, part of it is loyalty.
Tad, you know, you're like most coaches, you want your team to be kind of hitting its stride as you're getting them to watch where we're at now.
Yeah.
You know, I know the injuries might have maybe thwarted some of the collective growth this year, but with this win streak, do you feel like this team is maybe hitting another stride going into this last road trip?
I think, yeah, offensively, I see us slowing down. I see, you know, if we just finish the damn game tonight, and we turn the ball over 4 of our last 5 possessions, and we end up with 12 turnovers. We got 8 if we just finish strong. Like, you know, so I don't like the way we finished the game tonight, but in terms of the way we played for the first 38 minutes of the game, yeah, our guys believe in each other. They've overcome the injuries. It's next man up. You know, the other night, Ruff comes in and hits a couple threes. Sanjop has 7 rebounds in 13 minutes. Tonight, Bangat Dak, his numbers called. He responds unbelievably well. You know, the stats don't always tell everything, but his activity, his confidence. I mean, to me, that's what makes me most proud of this team is all of the injuries that we have overcome, and it hasn't gotten us down. We haven't made excuses. We just keep chugging along, and we've won 20 games. You know, that says a lot for all the adversity that we've had to fight. You know, as a group, players and coaches with the injuries.
Does the fact that you were missing 2 rotation guys almost turn out in some ways to be a blessing in disguise for down the road because you got more minutes?
Yeah.
For a couple of those freshmen. And Dak tonight, I may be wrong on this, but it seemed like the first minute and a half of the game he had a deflection and 2 bucks.
Yeah, he saved a layup. We got beat. It was going to be a layup for Stanford, and he got his hand on the ball, deflected it out of bounds. Like those plays are so important, and that's when I knew, okay, he's ready to play. He's ready to go tonight. And yeah, so yeah, the blessing. You know, last year, Sandy, you know, if you remember, Javon Hadley, it's like the last 10, 12 games of the year, maybe 15, I don't know what it was, you know, and KJ got mono leg. Well, Julian Hammond got thrown in the fire. Luke O'Brien got thrown in the fire. And guess what? We've benefited from that this year because of that silver lining of the injury. So yeah, Ruff gets some minutes, BD gets some minutes, San gets some minutes. Now, we'd love to have Julian back. We'd love to have Cody back, you know, as soon as they can come back. But it's been definitely the next man up, and it will help us down the road, you know, this year and next.
The way Tristan got going there just in the second half, I think
Yeah.
he made his first 4 threes, and just it seemed like the Tristan that we saw a lot of last season.
Yeah.
How nice has that been to see combined with the last game, just him kind of rounding into form here at this point?
Yeah, you know, the thing about Tristan, you know, I've talked about with him is you just gotta go play and be aggressive. Tristan is at his best when he's aggressive. It doesn't mean he needs to score every time or shoot every time, but like, you know, put pressure on the defense, and he's done that. Javon Hadley's done that. KJ does it, you know, just instinctively. But yeah, when Tristan's aggressive, you know, as long as he's taking good shots, which he does for the most part. You know, it's funny, sometimes he misses really easy shots, wide open, and he'll make that left hand swooping, you know, off the glass, which is a difficult shot, but he's so talented and so skilled that we just want him to be aggressive under control. And when he is, and he starts feeling it, he and KJ were terrific, and I thought Javon Hadley was great tonight as well.
KJ has been on a scoring stretch across the last 4 games, but
Yep.
tonight he held Carlisle to 4 of 17 from the field.
Yeah.
You spoke on his defensive effort this season, but could you speak a little bit more to that?
KJ should be considered for the all-defensive team. There's no doubt about it. Now, a lot of times that goes to guys that get a lot of steals. And the thing about KJ, he gets his fair share of steals, but, you know, when you go for steals and you miss them, you put your defense in jeopardy, you gamble. KJ's not a gambler. He's a rock-solid defender. He gets through screens, he takes on challenges. He's always guarding one of the best perimeter players in the other team. Javon Hadley should be considered for defense, you know, all defensive team. To me, those 2 kids, night in and night out, are being asked to really, really lock down the other team's best perimeter, and sometimes post defenders in Javon's case. But, you know, we went small a little bit with Eddie's foul trouble, and so we had to double the post a little bit and switch ball screens, which we did a good job of, I thought, in the second half.
Just quickly, and Cody and Julian, I mean, is it just kind of about seeing if they can get on the practice court this week ahead of the Oregon
Yeah, you
game?
gotta practice before you can play, so we'll see. You know, we're gonna take off tomorrow, we're gonna practice Tuesday, Wednesday this week, and head to Oregon on Wednesday, and then we play Thursday. So yeah, if you don't, you gotta practice to play, you know, and so hopefully they're back sooner than later. I don't know, have the answer to that.
For Tristan and Luke, what do you feel like is their mark they left on the program?
I think the mark that Tristan and Luke left on this program is kind of what I alluded to earlier, in that they persevered through tough times, you know, and they built a lasting, lifelong relationship and friendship that will go beyond Colorado. It'll be with them the rest of their lives. I didn't know that Luke took a German class, but it speaks to, you know, the fact that those guys, like, they love each other. They built a relationship. To me, that's what college athletics is about. And again, you don't get that by playing with somebody for 1 year. You get that through going through tough times and, you know, hanging out off the floor and getting to know each other's families. Going down to Denver, you know, I've seen a couple. Luke's a huge Denver, you know, sports fan. He loves the Avalanche. He loves the Nuggets. He's a front runner, but he hasn't seen him wear Rockies gear because we're not trying to win. But the fact is, like, he's brought Tristan into that fold, and you see them, you know, go down to Denver to an Avalanche game or a Nuggets game or a Broncos game, whatever. Not that they go down a lot, but when they do, and you see pictures posted, and like you love to see that from your players that have you know, they've developed a bond and a friendship. So they've set an example in a lot of different ways, not just on the court, but off the court as well for our younger players.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.